podcast.
You know that song by The Who, Meet the New Boss, same as the old boss? You could also say Meet the New Year, same as the old year, or Meet the New Podcast, same as the old podcast. The things that are changing or you think that are changing may not actually make a difference. We're going to talk about some of those things, one of them in particular, on this episode of Build a Big Podcast. My name is David Hooper. BigPodcast.com is the website. What you are listening to is the audio edition of my weekly newsletter. It is called Big Podcast Insider. You like email? Newsletter.bigpodcast.com. Sign up. I'll send it to you every Friday morning, New York City time. Same content, but different. Also, the links, and there's one in particular that you're going to want. This is issue 215, by the way. Here's what we're covering. Podcast skills equal money. Podcast production pitch list. That's what you want. Hang tight, I'll tell you more about it. Audio versus video content. Again. Guest accidentally fires a gun during podcast interview. True story. Automated podcast booking for only $59. Bad guest? Just say no. Start monetizing your podcast with Spotify. Again, everything I'm talking about, if you want the links and more information, newsletter.bigpodcast.com. That is where to go. This is issue number 215. This episode of Build a Big Podcast, it is brought to you by Riverside.fm. New year, new podcast. Sound better than last year with Riverside.fm. Studio quality recordings, no matter where you are in the world, no matter what kind of internet connection you or your guests or your co-host have. It's because Riverside records locally. It's what we call a double ender. Speed of internet, doesn't matter. If you got a good mic, quiet space, you're going to sound great. Do you have a lot of awkward silences? No, not you. Maybe your guest, maybe your co-host, but not you. Hey, I'm not going to judge. And if you want to remove those automatically through the power of AI, Riverside's got you covered. Also, AI-powered highlights. This is something they call magic clips. It takes your long-form podcast audio or video. Riverside does both. Finds what's interesting and makes short, snackable content for social media. You can go out, market your podcast, bring people back to your feed. Everything you need to record, edit, market your podcast. You can find it at riverside.fm. If you go there right now, they'll give you 2 free hours. That's enough to look under the hood, kick the tires, see if you like it, interview somebody, interview a couple people. It's going to make your podcast sound great. And all these features that I'm talking about, that is included in the free trial. If you want to stick around, here's a code for you. It's going to get you 15% off. Big Podcast, BIGPODCAST. That's riverside.fm. Go there now, get your free account. And if you want to stick around, get 15% off the already low rates, you can do it with the code Big Podcast, BIGPODCAST. All right, let's get to it. I'm going from thing to thing to thing, all of them about podcasting. Like a skilled DJ, I go from one thing to the next, and you might not know that there is a demarcation point if you didn't hear this sound. That's how you know. If you want more information, you want to read the articles, see any graphic images that I'm referring to, you can go to newsletter.bigpodcast.com. This is issue number 215. Podcasting skills equal money. If you're interested in making money with your podcasting skills this year, you're going to love the opportunity that I'm talking about. It's a spreadsheet with contact info and also payment rates for tons of podcasts, broadcast radio shows, people who are looking for freelance producers. Even if you are not actively looking for freelance work, I encourage you to look at this. It's going to help you set your rates for any kind of independent work that you do. It's going to let you know how valuable what you are doing as a podcaster is. That way, when sponsors come to you, guests come to you, speaking engagements come to you, it's going to give you a framework of how much you can charge. Also, later on in this episode, I'm talking about Spotify. They've got a new program. Should you go for it? We're going to get into it. All the links to everything that I'm talking about, as I've mentioned, newsletter.bigpodcast.com. This is issue number 215. Real quick, speaking of making money, I want to talk about Big Podcast AMP. AMP, it stands for Audio Monetization Program. This is a personal coaching program. It's going to help you do 3 things. 1, grow your podcast audience. 2, get people talking about your podcast. And 3, what I'm talking about on this episode, make more money with your podcast and your podcasting skills. You can get details at bigpodcast.com/amp. That's bigpodcast.com/AMP. Podcast production pitch list. If you're curious how much money you can make as a podcast producer, or you just want to see who's looking for podcast producers, I've got the list that you want. It includes opportunities with 99% Invisible, All Things Considered, Criminal, Embedded, Love and Radio, Morning Edition, Planet Money, Radio Lab. There's dozens of podcasts on here. You get the insider rates. You get to know exactly what they're talking about. Let me give you a baseline, though, for NPR stuff. This is something that a producer mentioned to me a few years ago. I don't know if rates have gone up nationally, but my work with NPR, it's been about this. $100 per finished minute. Meaning, if you got a 5-minute piece, $500. You want to see if it's current on the show that you're interested in getting on? I've got a lot of these linked. Again, 99% Invisible, All Things Considered, Criminal, Embedded, Love and Radio, Morning Edition, Planet Money, Radiolab, and others. You can find the spreadsheet, the payment rates, exactly what they're looking for, and how to pitch them at newsletter.bigpodcast.com. This is issue number 215. Audio versus video content. Again, do I talk about this every week? Almost. Let me read a quote for you. It's such a short-sighted thing for the podcast industry to be doing, meaning pushing video, to move away from the very thing that we have in our favor, which is that podcasts are there as entertainment for your ears while your eyes are busy. I think about this all the time, mainly because I'm not a video guy. I don't care about seeing talking heads, but because I have a life. I'm out in the world. I'm driving. I'm working out. I'm doing dishes, something. Bottom line, I can't be watching something because I am doing something else. That quote that I read, James Cridland from Pod News, he's the guy who said it. Like I mentioned, I've talked about this before. I feel like it's coming up a lot. I talked about it in the previous issue of this newsletter. If you don't have it, I've got it linked, newsletter.bigpodcast.com. This is issue 215. If you want to see issue 214, it is at that same link. This is the deal. And I learned this from the music industry. This is insider knowledge. We're seeing it in podcasting now. This is what's happening. Video companies need free content from people like us, and they are selling a dream. Video companies are paying for music. Video companies are paying for network television shows. Video companies are paying for everything except independent content. Independent content, that is what is driving this industry. Independent content, that is what started on the web and has blown the web up. Now, if you want to get specific about it, a lot of it was adult content. No, not you. You're not watching it. Everybody else is watching it. And here's the deal on that. The same thing that allowed adult content to blow up online, which wasn't the content exactly, it was the licensing of the content. All that stuff is work for hire. There are no royalties. Performers get paid once, if they get paid at all. Some of it, amateur home videos or whatever, just like we're doing with our podcast a lot of times. It was legally cleared, and they could put it anywhere and everywhere. There's no kind of licensing, no kind of international treaties, no kind of payment pipeline, nothing like that. That is the big reason that it spread, not just the content itself. Same for us. That's why Apple loves podcasts. That's why YouTube loves podcasts. That is why Spotify loves podcasts. We go to them with our stuff and say, oh, thank God. We can get our message out to anyone. They enable the distribution. Is that worth us giving them something for free? Yeah, I think so. That's why you have a back end. I've talked about this before. Having that back end, selling advertising on your own. We'll talk about that here in a minute. It's not necessarily a bad deal for us, but you need to know what it is. Because basically what they're going to do is put on your leg and call it rain. And as I mentioned, the growth of adult content, some people are into that stuff. Just be aware, go into it with your eyes open. I don't think distributing your stuff online for free on their dime, not getting paid a royalty or a licensing fee, I don't think that's bad. We can make that work for us. Again, I come from an industry where we did that. The post-Napster music industry, we're like, okay, well, music is free now. How can we make money? Well, live performances, merchandising, the thing that we're seeing now, endorsements. Musicians don't make money with music. They make money with the things that music enables them to do. Same for you. As a podcaster, maybe you're not making money with podcasting. You're making money from what the podcast enables you to do. Again, if you want more information on this, thoughts from James Cridland of Pod News, I've got it linked, newsletter.bigpodcast.com. This is issue number 215. Guest accidentally fires gun during podcast interview. I've got a video of this. It is linked, newsletter.bigpodcast.com, issue 215. I'm going to play the audio. Drugs and guns in a podcast studio. What could go wrong? I've mentioned this on the podcast before. And every time I say something about this, it's part of my history, people say, what? I can't believe it. I thought you were a flaming liberal, gun control advocate. And yeah, both those things are true. This is one of the reasons. My family was in the gun business. My grandfather was in the ammunition business and the collectibles business. I got an uncle who's doing the same thing. I grew up going to gun shows. One of my very first jobs, more or less being a bellhop, a gun and ammo bellhop on the gun show circuit. So I've been around guns all my life. I've seen things happen at gun shows with loaded guns going off. And these people, in theory, are the guys who are trained. They know guns the best. But do they go off sometimes? Yeah. They loaded? Yeah. I mean, obviously, to go off. And work with me here, 2A people. I got you. I got you. But again, this is coming from somebody who's been in that scene and is aware of it. This is the deal, man. Just like a microphone being in the room, you cannot assume that it is off. If there's somebody with a gun in the room and that gun is loaded, you cannot assume that gun is not going to go off. Perhaps user error. That's what happened here. Check this out.
You feel what I'm saying? So I'm just showing them the difference between trying to be something that you're not and choices we got in life. Those were your choices. Who shot who? Somebody got shot?
Lo, you good, Lo?
I hope. Y'all good?
Damn, Brody. Good?
Hey, only on the dirty third one-on-one with Mike D. I thought my nigga shot me.
Everybody good?
Damn, everybody good?
I hope.
Let me tell you what happened there. And again, you can find the video, newsletter.bigpodcast.com. This is issue number 215. This dude is a guest on a podcast, reaches down to scratch himself. Boom! Fires a gun. I've got no idea how the host wasn't really aware of that. Maybe the headphones were that good. Headphones were that cranked. He's just listening to himself. Guns are loud, man. They are loud as hell. And 99% of the time, if one goes off 2 feet from you, you were going to know these guys anyway. They just kept going on, continued the interview like nothing. Hey, man, you hurt? Okay, cool. An interesting situation before. I'm in the South, man. I've had people bring guns in the studio. And, I'm not trying to make this a guns right issue. I'm just saying that be aware, man, that when you got something like that around, it's possible, like this situation, that it's going to go off. The other thing is, and I've had this happen too, not in the studio, fortunately. I had a dude, this is a guy I interviewed, really nice guy, went out and killed somebody. Okay, cool. I'm not saying that it would happen to you in the studio, but if you want a safe environment for people where, and maybe people are arguing, well, I feel safer. Maybe Al-Qaeda is going to come in my studio and attack us. ISIS. You never know when they're going to show up. Come into your podcast studio. No, I kid. Some people, I think, feel that way though, right? Anyway, getting a little bit off topic, but in my studio, I want people to feel safe talking to me, to feel safe sharing their thoughts with me. And I'm not talking about just guns here. I'm talking about having a nice environment, nice lighting, give them some water, make people feel comfortable before they come in, get on the mic with you. It's an issue, live broadcast all the time, even your right-wing guys. And believe me, being in Nashville, I've worked with enough of them. They do not allow guns in the studio. So take that for what it's worth. This is an incident that I hope never happens to you. Does it happen? Yes. Does it happen frequently? Yeah, who knows? You wouldn't know about this unless I was telling you about it. You heard the audio. If you want to see the video, newsletter.bigpodcast.com. This is issue number 215. Automated podcast booking for only $59. It's called Zcal. It's an automated scheduling tool with a very nice interface. It looks similar to Typeform. If you've ever seen those contact forms on web pages, very nice interface. The thing I really love about it is once somebody books with you, they say they book an interview with you, you've got this video that people can see. Hey, thanks for booking. Here's what I expect from you. I need you to be in a quiet place. I need you to have a good mic. If you don't have a good mic, reach out to me. Let's get you one. I can help you with that. Be a little bit early. I'm going to have you in and out of there in an hour or 30 minutes or whatever. Coach these people through the process a bit. Spend a couple minutes, like I just said, make people comfortable. So when they come to you for that interview, There's no warm-up time. There's no comfort. Oh, man, are you okay? Okay. Relax. Take a deep breath. You don't have red light syndrome. You can get right to the meat, get to the heart of the interview, get them off that script that they're saying on every other episode that they do, if they do episodes, and get them into the real meat that's going to attract listeners to your podcast, the stuff that people want to hear. If you're interested in this tool, it's a one-time fee, by the way, $59. You can find information about it at newsletter.bigpodcast.com. This is issue number 215. Bad guests? Just say no. Speaking of guest troubles, something I learned the hard way when I was performing as a musician is that it's easy to say yes to a job, especially when money is involved. You don't actually think the job through. For example, $5,000 performance, it's in 3 months. Yeah, that's great. Sounds like good money. But once you factor in time, you got to get there, you got to get home. There's a lot of downtime when you are there. Tom Johnson of the Doobie Brothers told me this, and I've named my consulting company this because I love it so much. He said, you're not paying the Doobie Brothers for the hour we're on stage. You're paying us for the 23 hours it takes to get there. Now, he didn't invent that phrase. It's a common phrase. I say it all the time. He says it all the time. I've censored other people that don't know either one of us say it. But it's true. You're paying for somebody to get there, to do the work. The majority of time, people like us, we are paid to get there, to prepare, the years of experience we have coming in, the fame, the credibility, the built-in audience that we bring to the table. That's why we're being paid, not the actual work itself. And sometimes we forget that. We think, oh man, it's an hour. $5,000 sounds good. We can do the similar things with guests. There are probably a lot of people over the last few months. And if you don't have this problem, go to bigpodcast.com/amp. We'll make it a problem for you. But people who have reached out to you, they say, hey man, I'd love to be on your podcast. I'd love to have you on a podcast. You say, reach out to me the first of the year. Now it's coming home to roost. They're reaching out to you the first of the year. And you know why? It's not that everybody's on top of things, but they can schedule an email months in advance. Hey, John, reached out to you a couple months ago, following up on that interview request that you had for me. Because I think it's an interview request. Oh, reach out to me a couple of months. I'll say yes. That's how they read it. You're just trying to put them off. Anyway, if you're having this issue, if you're not interested in people, I want you to flip that action of putting them off, and I want you to say no immediately. Hey, man, not doing guests right now. Thank you for your interest. You don't have to give an excuse. If you want to, just say you're behind and overwhelmed with the work that you've got now. Can't take on anymore. You don't have to give a reason. You don't have to apologize. You definitely do not give a time when people can check back in because they're going to think that it's okay for them to check back in and automatically schedule a check-in. It's no work for them. It's all on you. So with that said, you can probably ignore them the next time and they can never reach out, but they've got that on automation. Somebody ignores an email. Hey man, just want to bump this up. Make sure you saw it. Say no to bad guests. Related to this, if you're not sure about a guest, think, maybe. And that can be difficult for podcasters. I know for me, I see the good in people. I see the stories that maybe they don't even see, the hooks. Like, okay, I think I can make something out of this. It's fine to have somebody check in later. But if you know that somebody's not a match for you, say no now. Never assume that person will forget to follow up. Like I said, follow-up always happens. Do not let things get awkward. Handle your business. If you want more thoughts on this, I've also got a joke. It's visual. You can see it. It's at newsletter.bigpodcast.com, issue number 215. Start monetizing your podcast with Spotify. This is how it works. You earn money every time an ad monetized by Spotify plays in your episode. That is not just on Spotify. That is on all platforms where your podcast is distributed. Apple, Amazon, YouTube, wherever. All you do is mark up your episode. By that, I mean, tell Spotify where to place the ads, and they do the rest. Somehow, with all the data they've collected, they know all about who's listening, and they deliver a targeted ad, giving that person an experience that, according to Spotify, is relevant to them. They have several monetization tools, some for audio, some for video. Is taking part in this program a good match for your podcast? Maybe. But most podcasters will earn more money by working directly with sponsors. It is nice to have a sales team, but you are walking over dollars to pick up pennies, or tenth of pennies, or 1/100ths of pennies. Yeah, you're going to make some money. Do you have to do anything? No, not really. Maybe annoy your listeners with programmatic ads. But it's not going to get you the sponsors that you're really connected to and have a relationship with that are going to stick things out with you. They're going to pay you more than tenths of a penny or hundredths of a penny. And a sponsor that's going to actually do something valuable for your listeners. There are a lot of companies now in the betting space, the gaming space, and by that I'm talking about gambling, not video games. So FanDuel or Megabets or the ESPN version of this, whatever. Like anything addictive, there's a lot of money in the betting app space. There are also a lot of people trying to have a land grab because all this stuff is so new to get in with the people who spend a lot of money on these apps. And they're going to go wherever they can to the furthest corners of the internet, including your podcast, to find those people and pay pretty good money. But it's not going to be anything, but it's not going to compare to the money you can make dealing directly with sponsors or compared to the amount of helpfulness that sponsor could actually deliver to your audience if you find the right sponsor. Not a generic sponsor, not a betting app, but something like Riverside.fm. You heard that ad at the very beginning of this episode. I've worked with Riverside for years. It is an independent deal. I work directly with them. We've had an ongoing relationship. That is why they are still here. You want deals like that? I can help you build something that will get them for you. I can help walk you through these deals. Bigpodcast.com/AMP, bigpodcast.com/AMP. It stands for Audio Monetization Program. I've also got a book for you if you want to get started there. It's called Sponsor Magnet, How to Attract, Price, and Execute Your Dream Brand Partnerships. It's by a guy named Justin Moore. I've known Justin for a little while. Smart guy when it comes to sponsor deals. He can advise you on how to do this. You want the link to the book? I got it. Newsletter.bigpodcast.com. This is issue number 215. Thanks for listening to Build a Big Podcast. If you want to work with me, I've talked about it, bigpodcast.com/AMP. I can help you grow your podcast, get more people to it, make more money from your sponsorships, make more money directly from your listeners if you're interested in that. Basically make an interesting show, something people care about, would miss if it's gone, and have a show that's compelling that people listen to, spreads a message, makes you feel like you're doing something for humanity. We're going to work on all that, bigpodcast.com/AMP. This podcast, Build a Big Podcast, this is the audio edition of my weekly newsletter. You'll get these episodes and other episodes that I do, all of them about growing your podcast, getting more people to your podcast, and making money with your podcast. If you go to bigpodcast.com/subscribe, that's bigpodcast.com/subscribe. I've got a button for iPhone, one for Android, one is an RSS feed. I make it easy for you to subscribe. One click is all it takes to get on. You don't like it? Hey, that's cool. One click is all it takes to get off. We'll still be friends. I'll always be at bigpodcast.com. You can reach out to me anytime and every time you need help. If you haven't subscribed, you're missing out. So go there right now and do that before you forget. Bigpodcast.com/subscribe. Bigpodcast.com/subscribe. Thank you so much for listening to Build a Big Podcast. I'll see you next time on the next episode.